Hello and welcome to Mission Viejo today. I am Mayor Trish Kelley and we're here at the golf course at Camp Pendleton for the 11th annual Tee It Up for Marines golf tournament. As a little bit of background, the city of Mission Viejo adopted Headquarters Battalion of the 1st Marine Division at Camp Pendleton in 2006. So this year marks our 15th year with this wonderful partnership. The golf tournament is a fantastic fundraiser which is hosted by the Marines and Sailors Adoption Committee, the Mission Viejo Community Foundation, and the City of Mission Viejo. The proceeds from this golf tournament support the Marines and Sailors and their families of Headquarters Battalion, our adopted battalion from 1st Marine Division at Camp Pendleton. So join me now out here on the golf course as we learn a little bit more about this event, the Adoption Committee, and the brave men and women of Headquarters Battalion. I now have the privilege of being joined by Colonel Seth Folsom, the commanding officer of Mission Viejo's adopted Headquarters Battalion of the 1st Marine Division. The colonel is highly decorated, is the author of 3 books, and has had a distinguished career in the Marine Corps. Colonel, so good to see you again.
It's good to see you. Thank you for having me here.
Yes. Tell me, what does it mean to you to have the support of the Marine Adoption Committee?
Well, I think simply put, having the community of Mission Viejo as our adopted city, it gives the Marines a sense that there's a collection of people in the community outside the barriers of this base that's looking after them spiritually and in some ways tangibly as well. It means a lot to the men and women in this battalion, especially during this period where the nation is so deeply divided, and it just goes to show that people can set their divisions aside, and anywhere where there is a civil military divide, it's not between Headquarters Battalion and Mission Viejo. Our relationship remains tight, and we genuinely appreciate that support over the years, which is now 15 years of support from the community.
Yes, you're right. The nation is divided, but we all come together to support our military and especially our Marines. We love our Marines in Mission Viejo.
Yes, ma'am.
We appreciate every branch of the service, but we're so grateful for you and for the work that you do. Are there any specific examples of ways that the committee has supported your unit?
Yes, ma'am. Over the last 15 years, in addition to just the partnership that we've had with the community, there's also been a lot of tangible support from the city of Mission Viejo, and that's come in the form of care packages that have gone overseas to Marines who are deployed. It's come in the form of fundraising events like the golf tournament that we've got today that contributes to everything from unit activities to large scale things like our annual birthday celebration. And there is support that we get from the city for Marines and their families who may be in need, particularly if we have a Marine or family who requires something that our resources that we have access to can't deliver. The city has been very gracious in the past with helping us out in cases like that.
Right. Now, you mentioned that we do send care packages to the Marines who are deployed. What does that mean to a Marine who's deployed and receives a care package? And what do they like to get?
Well, that's a great question. In this kind of impersonal age that we're in of email and texts and social media, getting a care package it's a tangible reminder for Marines and sailors who are forward deployed that there is someone back home that's looking out for them and thinking of them. And to your question about what Marines like, I'll tell you, Marines and sailors, when they're forward deployed, they are always busy. And a busy Marine is a snacking Marine.
Oh.
And so, I know they enjoy snacks from home. That's what I enjoyed as well. They always enjoy coffee. Home baked goods are wonderful, as long as they don't melt in transit, but I think even then, I know I have. They'll take whatever they can get.
Oh, well, that's true. Marines do like to eat.
Yes, ma'am.
I thought you would say socks. I think socks maybe are somewhat important too.
Socks are absolutely important. I think now with what our Marines are doing overseas and the types of deployments that they're doing, socks are probably less important. In the early days of the relationship between Mission Viejo and our battalion, our Marines and sailors were deploying constantly to Iraq and Afghanistan. And in those environments, socks were absolutely important. They were critical, especially for the Marines that were on the ground. I think less so now, but the area that we spend a lot of time in the Western Pacific, it is wet, and socks matter too.
Good. Well, can you tell us a little bit about what makes your relationship, the relationship of the battalion with Mission Viejo? What is unique about that? That's
a great question. I think what makes our relationship with Mission Viejo so unique is it's the personal aspect of our relationship. And as an example, our relationship with Miss Gayle Woods, she's been doing this for so long. We see her so frequently in the battalion, and she's literally become part of our family. And that personal relationship, it doesn't feel like it's a community that's just checking the box. She is there, she's with us, and as part of the family, she's there to help the Marines and sailors understand that there really is a community of people out there who are looking after them.
That's so true. She's so dedicated, and we appreciate her service as well. My husband's actually on the Marine Adoption Committee too, so I get to find out what's going on and be able to support from the rear. Mm-hmm. But it is just a very unique relationship, and I know that I've heard from your Marines that this is valuable to them. It is something that makes them feel appreciated and supported, and actually practical as well, because sometimes that practical support is needed for family issues that where finances might be needed. So we appreciate being able to serve you in our capacity as residents of Mission Viejo.
Yes, ma'am. And what's really important too, I think, for a lot of the Marines and sailors in the battalion is, in particular, our young single Marines. They come from all over the country. They come from the Northeast, they come from the South, they come from the Midwest. And the challenges that we've had in the last 18 months with the COVID pandemic, it's made it very difficult for Marines to be able to get home to see their families. And so the relationship that we have continued to cultivate with Mission Viejo gives the Marines and sailors in this battalion a feeling that they do have an additional family outside of this base here in the local community.
To turn to a different subject now, I know that Americans were shaken by hearing about the 13 military men and women who were killed recently in Afghanistan. And this included 9 Marines and a sailor from Camp Pendleton. Can you tell me a little bit about how that affected you all here and your Marines?
Yes, ma'am. The tragedy that day has absolutely affected us. And the men and women in Headquarters Battalion have been closely following the events of that day for the last 6 weeks. And first and foremost, our thoughts and prayers and our hearts go out to the families of those service members who were killed, as well as the service members who were wounded in that explosion, and their families as well. It's a terrible tragedy, and at the same time, the men and women in this battalion are so proud to be able to say that they are associated with those service members, those 9 Marines and 1 sailor from 1st Marine Division, to have served in the Blue Diamond and to serve with them, who did their duty at a time when the nation called.
Oh, that's really, it's such a tragedy, and yet you all are willing every day to go out and lay your lives on the line. So it's very much an impact on us hearing from you and knowing that. And another aspect that I am thinking of is the 20th anniversary of the September 11th attacks. Can you tell me where you were and how that impacted you 20 years ago on September 11th?
Yes, ma'am. My wife Ashley and I were on our honeymoon on September 11th. We were in Oxford, Mississippi, We watched on television when the planes hit the towers. And the events of that day and the wars and the deployments that followed, they've really shaped our lives and our marriage for the last 20 years in the same way that they've shaped the lives of the Marines and the sailors that I've served with and deployed with. And what I can tell you is, despite these long years of hardship and despite the many deployments, the one thing that I've realized over the years is that the men and women that I've served with overseas, there is a deep sense of pride and pride over the fact that when their nation called, they volunteered and went overseas to do their good work over there. And I don't think you can ask for anything more than that. It has been a challenging 20 years for the service. It's been a challenging 20 years for the country. What we're all just hoping now is that 20 years on, that we can continue to move forward as a unified country. And I will also say that as terrible as that day was and the fact that it was 20 years ago, we absolutely must not forget it.
That's so true. The city just held a remembrance ceremony, and it's hard to realize that it was 20 years ago, but we do absolutely have to remember that. And it certainly did change our nation. And it has made Americans appreciate our members of the military even more. So again, we appreciate you, Colonel Folsom, and the work that you've done and continue to do on behalf of our nation. And is there anything else you'd like to say to our Mission Viejo residents?
Yes, ma'am. I would simply say thank you once again from the bottom of all of our hearts on behalf of the men and women, the Marines and sailors of Headquarters Battalion. We appreciate the support the community has given us for 15 years and continues to provide us. It's a true partnership. It's a true family. So thank you.
Thank you. It is a partnership and a family. So thank you for bringing that out. And I know that our Mission Viejo residents have loved to hear from you and look forward to hearing from other members of your battalion. And I will be back in just a few minutes with our next guest. It's important for us as residents of Mission Viejo to actually see and meet and hear from the Marines that we are supporting. So I'm very pleased to be able to have join me here Captain Haw, and he is the company commander for Truck Company. And I would just love for our residents to get to know you a little bit, Captain, and exactly what you do and how the committee affects you. So first of all, what motivated you to become a Marine, and when did you join, and what's a little bit of background on your Marine experience?
Okay. First and foremost, thanks for having me on here. And again, thanks for the support. So I'm from a small island called Saipan in the Northern Marianas Islands. A lot of people don't know where that's from. It's next to Guam. So I'm from a very small place. And what motivated me to join the Marine Corps was a sense of adventure. And that was predominantly what motivated me to join the Marine Corps. Considering all the services, it was widely known that the Marine Corps was the best. And so that's the direction I went. I haven't looked back since.
Well, that's wonderful. As adventure, you're certainly getting adventure, and we appreciate your service. I know that I met you the other day at a Marine recognition where our city recognizes Marines of the Quarter and NCOs of the Quarter. So it was great to see you then. And at that time, you spoke a little bit about how it impacts the battalion to have the support of the Marine Adoption Committee and the city of Mission Viejo. What can you tell us?
So I think, that day I spoke about, when I first came in the Marine Corps, we didn't really have that sort of support system, at least not where I've been in the first 4 to 5 years. And so having been in Headquarters Battalion and seeing the support from the Adoption Committee, Miss Gayle, and then from the council members, we're really appreciative. There's a financial portion to that too, but I think the spiritual support is important. for the Marines to know that, hey, the civilian populace outside appreciates that the work that they do on a daily basis, and it gives them motivation and inspiration to do better. And so that support system, it existing, yeah, super appreciative of that.
And I'm so glad that you know that, because our residents in Mission Viejo just love our Marines.
Yeah.
So we appreciate you and the work that you do very much. And I know that you have been involved and have seen some of the things that the committee has done. For instance, this golf tournament, which will be raising funds to support your Marines and your families. So
Yes.
Thank you, Captain Ha, for your service and for being here today and for the work you do. We appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you for your support.
Thank you. And I'll be back in just a moment with additional guests. I'm pleased now to have join me Staff Sergeant Carlos Valderas, and he is with Headquarters Battalion. And I'm going to ask you, where are you from and what motivated you to become a Marine?
Hi, good morning. Thank you. I'm from a little town called Hebronville, Texas. Very small town. If you blink once, twice, you'll drive right by it. What motivated me to be a Marine is opportunity. Coming from a place where opportunity is very scarce and they expect you to be either one thing or another was not for me. I can't stay still. I need to travel. That opportunity is very appealing to me. So when the opportunity arose for me to join the Marine Corps, I jumped at it. So traveling is a passion of mine, and I enjoy it. And the Marine Corps has been able to do that for me.
That's great. And how long have you been in the Marine Corps?
Been in the Marine Corps for 15 years, ma'am.
15 years?
Yes, ma'am.
Wow. Well, that is a lot of service for our country. And you need to know how much we appreciate you, the residents of Mission Viejo, and really all of America. We love our Marines. We appreciate our Marines. We recognize the service that you do for us in keeping our nation safe and all the work that you do, putting your lives at risk at some times. And so the residents of Mission Viejo chose to adopt Headquarters Battalion
Yes, ma'am.
in 2006. And you know that we have a Marine Adoption Committee.
Yes, ma'am.
And can you just tell me how does it make you feel knowing that you have the support of the committee and some of the work that they're doing?
It's truly a blessing. I appreciate it. I appreciate every single opportunity and everything that the Mission Viejo Foundation Committee has been able to provide for us. Ms. Gayle has done an awesome job taking care of us along with all the other members. Every year, it just surprises me how much the community out there is willing to do for us. And every single Marine here, from a goodie bag to an event like this, I mean, they truly understand it. They feel it. I feel it. And it's good to be a part of it. I'm glad that we have that city there for us.
Well, that is great. And I just thought it would be really fun for our Mission Viejo residents to get to meet a few of the Marines that we are helping and that we are supporting. So thank you very much, Staff Sergeant, for being here and joining us today.
Thank you for having me, ma'am. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I'll be back in a few moments with another guest. I'm now pleased to introduce Corporal McArthur from Headquarters Battalion, and I would like to chat with you a little bit and let our residents of Mission Viejo learn about you, and just as an example of one of the wonderful Marines that we support here in Headquarters Battalion.
Yes, ma'am.
So tell me, Corporal, what motivated you to become a Marine? But first of all, where are you from?
I'm from North Carolina.
North Carolina. You
Yes,
couldn't
ma'am.
get too much farther away in the United States.
No.
We were stationed there for a while as well. My husband was in the Marine Corps.
That's awesome.
So welcome to California, for one thing. And then what motivated you to become a Marine?
I've always known that I've always wanted to serve my country. I grew up in a military family. Granted, I am the first Marine in my family, so I want to try something different. And
Wow, you've always wanted to serve your country.
yes, ma'am.
That makes me feel so good, and I know our residents of Mission Viejo love to hear that. And you should know that our residents in Mission Viejo love our Marines, and we
Yes.
do a lot to support your battalion here. And it's just one small way that we can give back to you all who are laying it all on the line for us.
Yes,
so
ma'am.
we truly appreciate that.
My Marines appreciate it too. It's really glad to actually see this type of events happening, to know that you guys support us and everything that we do.
We do. We certainly do, Corporal. And we're so pleased to be able to see you and let our people back home
Yes,
in
ma'am.
Mission Viejo see you. We're here at Camp Pendleton, your home.
My home.
And so we are very pleased to be able to let our residents learn a little bit more about you and why you joined the Marines. And so thank you very much.
Of course, I'm happy to be here.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
And we will be back in just a moment with another guest. I'm pleased now to be joined by Gayle Wood, Chairperson of the Marine and Sailors Adoption Committee. Gayle, how did you first become involved in the committee? How did you hear about it? What is your background?
Oh, thank you, Trish, for asking. I went to a car wash when the committee was first formed and participated in the car wash, and then got interested in the group and joined the group and been there now since 2007.
So you're almost an original. We began we adopted the committee, we adopted the battalion in 2006.
Yes.
So you got in very early, and you have been just a dynamo. We certainly appreciate it.
Oh, it's my pleasure. My pleasure.
Now tell me, what kind of feedback do you get from the Marines about the efforts of the committee?
Oh my goodness. A lot of you don't see the feedback we get because they're down here and you're up there. But every time I come down here, they are just so grateful, so thankful, and so amazed that there's a group of citizens that actually care about what they're doing down here.
That is so nice, and that just warms our hearts, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It does.
Really does. And now I know our residents in Mission Viejo just love our Marines.
Yes.
Tell me what kind of response you get from them.
Oh my goodness, we have several drives during the year for baby items, deployment items, and toys for the kids at Christmas time. And I am always so amazed at the response from the citizens of Mission Viejo. Last year alone, I took down 18 truckloads of toys down here for their Christmas party. And not only were we able to help Headquarters Battalion with at least 2 toys per kid, we were also able to help a couple of the smaller battalions that don't have an adopted city. So the citizens of Mission Viejo are key in the success that we have down here.
And they are so generous, and I've been at different events when we are doing the toy drive, and I see people come in with their toys, and I know then the committee hosts a party and has Santa Claus come, and what a fun thing.
It is very fun
for the little Marine kids. So that is,
they're so overwhelmed. They just can't believe that there's a city as great as Mission Viejo is that does all this stuff for them.
That's so much fun. Now this event, the Tee It Up for Marines, 11 years. What kind of response are you getting from our community on the Tee It Up for Marines golf tournament?
The golf tournament is our largest fundraiser, and it funds the bulk of our activities to help the Marines. And it sells out every year really fast. And people are just so excited to come down here and actually play on Camp Pendleton, interact with the Marines, see the vehicles and see the displays, and it's just a really fun time for everyone.
It really is, and I think it's unique for golfers to be able to come and actually golf on the Marine base.
It is unique.
You can't do that all the time.
You can't do that all the time, so they graciously, the golf tournament committee graciously opens up this golf course for us once a year to host this tournament.
And again, we see the generosity of Mission Viejo residents and community and businesses. We have sponsors and golfers who pay to come out and to golf and to support our Marines.
Yes, and all the silent auction and raffle items come from businesses in Mission Viejo, and the response is just so heartwarming, you know, to be able to help as much as we do.
That's great, and this is the big event. So
this is our biggest fundraiser of the year, yes.
That's great. Now, I know that you know how much you are appreciated by me and by our city, and especially by our Marines, but it must be pretty rewarding yourself. How do you feel about what you do for the Marines?
It is like my soul warming. I just absolutely love doing it. The Marines and the sailors that I interact with down here all know me as Mama Gayle, and it's just so, I'm so grateful for the city of Mission Viejo to support us, and me being able to come down here and spread the joy and just make them feel so appreciated.
That is great. And I know that through the years, you probably have a lot of very special memories. Is there any person or any special memory that really stands out to you in your years of service in this capacity?
There's a few. We had a young Marine family who had a daughter that had what they call leukodystrophy, which is an immune disease. And she was bedridden, and they could not move her around upstairs because the carpet was so stained, and so we stepped in and replaced the entire upper floor with wood so that she could move around and she could have more access, and that was very heartwarming. And then we also had a young Marine who unfortunately lost his twins at birth.
Oh.
It was heartbreaking, but he could not afford to pay to have them cremated, and so we also stepped in and paid for that. We have taken care of things like plane tickets for home when there's a death in the family, and special needs for the units, and it's every single memory that we make with them is very special.
Those are really good stories and good examples of exactly what this golf tournament provides for, and the different ways that we support our Marines. And it takes money, so it takes funding. So we do appreciate the generosity of the community and the fundraising that comes from this event. And Gayle, we really appreciate you and your service. And I'm actually a Marine wife. I can't say former Marine wife.
No, we don't say that.
Once a Marine, always a Marine. But my husband Jack served in the Marine Corps in the 70s. So I know I've got that understanding of what it's like to be a Marine family, a Marine wife, and the different challenges that come up. So it is just so wonderful that we have this committee that has adopted this battalion and takes care of them, and we truly appreciate your service.
Oh, thank you so much, but you are the one that started this committee and brought the idea in of adopting a battalion, and little did you know how big it would get, but we are so grateful to you and to the city and to the city council and everyone that helps support us in what we do.
Well, thank you, Gayle, and thanks for being with us today on the program. And of course, at the golf tournament, you're always here and always working. So thank you very much, Gayle.
Thank you, Trish.